I am so thrilled today. We have a new licensee, and her name is Amanda Trower. Welcome. And I'm going to ask you a few questions, Amanda, so that we can all get to know you better. Amanda just finished for her certification. Of course, her training will be ongoing during the next 3 years, but she is ready to go. She has her website. I'm going to link all that information for you here in the article. Let's get started. How do you think learning manners helps students today? And I must tell my audience out there, Amanda is a teacher. And of course, this comes naturally for her teaching students. How lucky are they to have you teaching manners?
Oh,
So how do you think learning manners helps our youth today?
Wow, I believe that manners will just help our students navigate life. It will just so many positive relationships and interactions as they travel in their career. And I think it really sets our students up for success.
I do too, of course. It makes life so much more fun. And when you show up and you feel comfortable in all types of social settings, whether it's at school or whether it's at a party or an event or a soccer game, it just helps you. Life becomes so much easier. And what inspired you to start a business teaching manners to children?
Well, as you mentioned before, I have been in education for over 25 years. And I have seen just a shift in the way students interact with one another. And I found myself teaching just as many social skills as I did academics. And I said, you know what, there's just a great need for our students to be confident, to be problem solvers, to really know how to treat one another and how to conduct themselves in a variety of social settings.
And what was your experience as children are entering back into the classroom or have over the past months and the past year? What is the biggest need?
I think the biggest need is the social emotional learning piece. Students are coming in not having structure for a number of years and coming back into the setting and knowing how to just speak to one another in an appropriate way, to be able to truly listen to their classmates without judgment, and really be able to respond in an appropriate manner to really kind of, size up their problems. Does this problem require a big reaction or a small reaction?
Yes.
Navigate that so that the other people in our class feel safe around us, comfortable being in our presence. I just believe at its core, etiquette and manners is fundamentally about kindness and common courtesy and really looking out for one another, each other.
Yes, I agree completely. And let's shift to another topic. We just finished, as part of your training, a virtual afternoon tea. And so this is top of mind. What is your favorite part? And I know you have a special place on your heart for afternoon tea. And I know we can share with the audience, you have maybe one day of starting your own tea room. So what is your favorite part of afternoon tea?
I think aside from all the savories and sweets, it is really the conversations that happen around a pot of tea. I believe that there are so many wonderful relationships that can be cultivated and nurtured. There's just something warm, not just about the beverage, but just something very comforting about having tea with your colleagues or your family members, and just how it just kind of sets just a positive tone and you just feel good overall.
I know. We did. We had this discussion that tea solves a lot of problems problems in the world. So we just talked about that. I completely agree. What was your favorite book to read to your children? I always like to ask this question because I've gotten so many different answers, and I learn a lot about authors and books by asking this question.
Yes, well, I actually have two, if I can share two. For my daughter, she loved reading Corduroy.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite book. I even had to go and find the teddy bear and gave it to her for Christmas one year. And it was every single night. We had to read it, and I could not skip any pages or she would know.
Yes.
And for my son, he liked The Napping House by Audrey Wood.
Now that's new to me. I haven't heard of this one.
Oh, wonderful, very repetitive text. And I think that's what he liked about it. It was very predictable. He always knew what was going to happen next, but loved it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I like the topic, the napping house. They say naps are very good for us. So for all ages. This is always a great question. Who would you put on your dinner party list?
Wow, there are so many wonderful role models out there. One, and I got this idea from reading a children's book called No Talking by Andrew Clements. And the character had been doing a book report about Mahatma Gandhi. Mm-hmm. One day out of the week, he would not talk. He would just sit with his own thoughts, and it was said that it brought order to his mind. So I think, how wonderful would it be if we could just block out all the noise and just be? Mm-hmm. So much going on around us, and just to see how he was able to use some nonviolent tactics. We talk about manners and etiquette, and just how he was able to do that to accomplish all the wonderful things that he did. Another person that I would like to have at my dinner party would be Queen Elizabeth.
Now you're a first. You are first. What a great idea. I love it.
Yeah, just to be the epitome of style and grace, even, in her mid-90s. Mm-hmm. Just be an amazing conversation to have, and how she was able to just endure all these years. I think that would just be awesome. Yes,
I agree. Anyone else?
I had a couple more, just for different reasons. Steve Jobs, but just because he's so innovative all the time, coming up with new ideas, and just having a conversation of how he just comes up with all of these wonderful topics. Also Oprah, because I just admire her entrepreneurship and just being just a strong woman.
Yeah.
And just kind of seeing how she's able to navigate and keep a level head about everything.
Right. Wow, what an interesting dinner party.
Yes.
Anyone else?
The only other person I had was Mother Teresa. Mm-hmm. I just have a heart of serving others and just helping. And she just did that with just, modesty. She didn't ask for a lot. She gave so much of herself.
Yes, what a great role model.
Yes.
I know, we have a lot to learn from her.
Yes.
In this day and age, for sure. Well, this has been enlightening, and I'm sure our audience will get a great deal, especially you being a teacher and your observations, what's happening now with children, whether you're in the classroom or whether you interact with them at a sports game. We all as adults have responsibility to be role models, whether they're our children or somebody else's children, just
Absolutely.
Out in public, and how you treat others. And remember, children are watching us, and
all the time.
It makes us feel better when we use our good manners and our good skills. It's all about self-interest and how it makes us feel on the inside. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to be linking her information, her name, and her contact information for you. She's in the midst of getting her site up. It's called Etiquette, More Than Etiquette.
Yes.
It's the name. It's a great name for her business. She really put a lot of thought into naming the business. It didn't just happen overnight. And maybe we'll do another interview and we'll talk about the steps that you went through to come up with that name, because it's a fantastic name. It was still available, and we can't wait to see what you do with it. So thank you so much again. The students that you touch are very fortunate. Your children are very fortunate. And it has been an absolute pleasure to get to know you. And Amanda and I actually live fairly close to each other. And we just talked about plans of maybe meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina for afternoon tea. Yes, we'll make that happen.
Yes, sure. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for all that you do. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with you.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, take care. Don't forget to check out the links so that you can get to know Amanda. And we're going to keep an eye on you because, like I said, you have a lot of value to bring to the world.
Thank you.